Microphone check 1 2. What do it do? We back right here with another episode of the Campus Rundown Show on the one, the only, your go-to for everything HBCU, historically Black sense. Of course, I'm your host MC, and today we definitely diving into a really great episode because we're talking about being homesick, first generation college student, HBCU news, and so much more. But before we get to all that great stuff, check out this video, man. Mike, welcome back. Sup, gang?
What's up? Hey, y'all.
I miss my co-host, man. Every Tuesday. It's great to see you guys. How we feeling? How's the week been?
Honestly, it's going pretty good for me, I would say. What about you, Burik?
For me, it's been going good, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Yesterday, I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. I had an allergic reaction. That ain't never happened before, but y'all see, I'm okay now.
Oh, okay.
Allergic reaction to what?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Right now, my number one is either some lemonade or the CMRC game room.
Lemonade?
Allergic reaction to the game room? Like just the whole room as a whole?
Yeah. Like, I just was like, I don't know. I started sneezing, and then my body started to itch, and then I was in hives. I don't know. But a Benadryl or two won't do the job for me every time. So I'm okay now.
You know, listen, Grandma always said, drink some ginger ale and you'll be fine.
So and that's what I had too last night. Ginger ale.
Canada Dry or Schweppes? Which one was it?
I think it was the Canada Dry. Don't beat me up.
Oh no, that's the right one.
Don't beat me up.
That's the right one. Schweppes is only good when it's cold. It's only good when it's cold.
I like the other one. I don't know the name of the brand, but it's like real spicy.
You drinking spicy ginger ale, my boy?
It do be burning my throat a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. B-Rub, you want to take us with the check-in?
Yes, as y'all know, we always got to do our mental health check-in to see how everyone is doing. We're doing a scale of 1 to 10. How you feeling? Who want to start today, y'all?
MC, go first.
Oh, well, there you go.
Falling told. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm coming off a birthday. Birthday was Sunday.
Woo!
How old is you now? 32?
I'm just gonna go ahead and just big 2-4, turned 24. I realized with this past year that it's important to put effort into your birthdays, right? To care about it. I'm usually the person, I don't really care about it that much. I'm usually working on it, doing something. But this year made me just realize that, I should probably just put some effort, do something that I really do want to do for real. So yeah, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm feeling great. Dasa. Oh, scale of 1 to 10, I'm an 8. I'm an 8.5.
Okay.
Dasa.
That's pretty good. I remember last week everybody didn't have a high rating on their mental health. It was maybe like a 6s and 7s, but I can say I'm at a 9 today. I just bought my birthday wig, y'all, because birthday is approaching. Homecoming is approaching. And one of my classes got canceled today. So I ended up getting back from campus early, and I pretty much had a free day just chilling on my couch, watching Baby Boy and other movies on Netflix. But so far, I'm good. What about you, Burik?
For me, I think I'm at an 8. It's been a chill week so far. I have my long day of classes tomorrow, so I'm trying to prepare my mind for that. But besides that, it's been a pretty good week. We're getting closer to homecoming and all that, so we're doing some planning and stuff. So I'm getting excited.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Nice. Well, before we move any further, I know we got some dope stuff to get to, but we got to toss it to Destin, toss it to Kay. We got an HBCU news segment. What's going on, y'all?
Good evening and welcome to HBCU News, where we celebrate the cultural richness and resilience of our communities.
Tonight's episode brings you an excitement of game day, HBCU leadership, and a nod to the Divine Nine from our nation's capital.
We've got some amazing highlights and interviews, and we'll even be showcasing bands from recent home games, so stay tuned.
Oh, I'm excited for tonight. Let's dive right in. In national news, Vice President Kamala Harris gave a shout out to her fellow Divine Nine sorority sisters during the Congressional Black Caucus Ball. Here's a clip of that special moment where she speaks on the influence and strength of Black Greek life.
Say about Joe Biden. I have. Hello to all my Divine Nine brothers and sisters and my soror. And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Wow, that was amazing. I want to send a special shout out to the beautiful ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. It's always amazing and inspiring to see leaders in the highest offices acknowledge the legacy and power of HBCUs and Black sororities and fraternities.
Absolutely, Destin. Now, let's get into something that really makes the HBCU home game special: the bands. Whether it's halftime or the fifth quarter, the bands truly set the tone. We've got some highlights from recent home games showcasing the talents of our marching bands, but not just the bands, the Royal Court as well.
The energy, the precision, the passion, you just can't beat the sound of an HBCU band. If you see your school's band, shout them out in the comments.
And now we've got a couple of interviews lined up. We'll be sitting down with two guests who are making waves in the HBCU community. Stay tuned for those exclusive conversations. But before we get into that, some quick birthday shout outs we have. Our MC, of course, whose birthday just passed. The oh so amazing twins, Shavonda and Shavan Pierre, and Mr. Sophomore, Nassan Jackson. Make sure you let us know who's also celebrating a birthday as well.
I want to send a special happy birthday to you guys. Albany State University Junior Class President of the REACH Administration and HBCU Ambassador State Representative for Georgia, Jonathan Bing started an amazing initiative that is shaking his campus with enthusiasm and encouragement. Let's take a look.
All right, you got
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Jonathan Bing.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Greetings and humble salutations, everyone. I am Jonathan Bing, a junior psychology scholar with a minor in computer science, hailing from Lawrenceville, Georgia, and I'm representing the illustrious, unsinkable, and indestructible Albany State University.
Jonathan Bing, do us a favor and tell us what those initiatives are and kind of delve into what exactly it is you do every week.
So starting off right, I told myself I wanted to make an impact, but I just need to figure out how to make an impact. I was talking with one of my colleagues, one of my friends, shout out Zakiria. She was telling me, she was like, Jonathan, people love to listen to you talk. So I said, okay, I'm going to come up with Motivational Monday. Every Monday, I'm going to post a video and I'm going to drop a motivational quote just so that way people can go ahead and get their week started on the right foot. Now, the REACH administration, shout out President Trayvon Rucker, he always says REACH stood for reaching up, reaching out, and reaching forward. So I took Wednesday, also known as Fried Chicken Wednesday in the HBCU community, and I turned it into Reach Out Wednesday, where we're leaving positive messages and interacting with the student body so that way everybody can have an feel blessed day.
So, Jonathan, if someone wanted to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you?
Oh, you can hit you. My Instagram is at Jonathan Bing. So my name is JONATHAN BING_, and I'll answer any DMs, questions, or anything just like that.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan.
Wow. Wasn't that amazing? What a way not only to engage but to keep your campus encouraged. Next up, an HBCU entrepreneur driving the measures of self-empowerment and self-love with the powerful motto, let your passion drive you. Next Gen, the brand inspires young leaders to embrace their passions and stand tall in their journey to success. Join us in welcoming the CEO of Next Gen, the brand, Rashante McCartney.
Hey, Rashante.
Hi guys,
How's it
pleasant
going?
good night. My name is Rashante McCartney. I am the senior here representing Central State University. I'm from the beautiful islands of Nassau, Bahamas. Yeah, shout out to the 242 right quick. But hey guys.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your brand?
Yes. So Next Gen was established in 2022 October, so the fall of 2022. I'm very big on empowering others and just basically being a positive influence. And I wanted to, especially on the HBCU campus, I wanted to find a way for me to be that voice with while being the person in the background. And because I'm more shy, I'm a more put back type of person, but I like to consider myself very impactful and I have a very empowering light to me. So I decided, why not kill two birds in one stone, like the old people say, and just combine two of my passions together. So I am currently a graphic design major here at Central State University. I love to design. Designing is my passion, and I also like to empower. So I decided to join both of those things together, and I came up with Next Gen. Next Gen is short for Next Generation. It basically just it was created to empower the young generation, especially Gen Z, and those after my current generation to just push beyond the expectations that others has on them, and don't let the mistakes of their parents, grandparents, anyone that came before them deter them from doing something way bigger and better.
Wow, that's inspiring. So just before you leave, Tay, can you do us a favor and just let us know what you have available in stock and of course where people can find you if they're interested?
Yes. So currently, I just dropped some statement teas out, as I like to call them. There, it says, "I am in control of my life." I feel as though that's a very empowering statement that a lot of people need to take in account that no one has control over the things that happen in their life. So I decided, why not drop a T-shirt, and you could find me on Instagram at NextGen the brand, NexGentTheBrand. I also have motivational shorts available, which holds my slogan, like Destin mentioned earlier, driven by passion, motivated by success. So you can find me on Instagram at NextGen the brand, or you can order from my website, nextgenthebrand.myspotify.com. Everything is on hand. Everything ships out the next day. So if you want to purchase something or just want to hit me up for some form of inspiration or some help, you can go ahead and message me on Instagram.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Next Gen, the brand. And as always, as our time is completed, we're here to bring you the latest and greatest from our HBCUs. Once again, I am Destin R.
And I'm Kadriana Heath, signing off for your HBCU news. Until
Until
next.
next time.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Shout out to
So
our HBCU news.
so very black CNN-ish. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, gang. Before we get into, the serious stuff, you know, we had to bring back our HBCU confessions one time.
Yes.
We're
I
gonna
miss
put them
them.
up on the screen. You know, we're gonna chop it up a little bit. What's our first one?
Let's
Oh,
get into
I can only wonder what it's gonna be. Oh boy. All right. Sometimes I feel like I should break up with my boyfriend, then go ahead and do it. Because I don't see our lives going in the same direction. Duh. But I care about him and he's treated me better than anyone ever has. So I don't want us to end, but I also don't want to waste each other's time. Anonymous.
Ooh,
Okay.
girl. Mm.
Do somebody want to start first, or do I just have to be like the rude one?
I'll go ahead and say it.
Okay.
I'm be super transparent, girl. If you respect yourself enough to know what your value is and to know what you're worth, regardless of how good that he's treating you, but you know realistically the path isn't aligning, you need to leave him and not waste your time or his time. Like God is always going to provide somebody better for you. But if that's what you're gonna want to settle with, then okay. I mean, it's a canon event. I can't interfere.
Yeah, I agree with what Dasa said. Like, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know. I'm one to, if you're not making the cut, so I can only tell you to go. You know, like I said, it's someone else.
Hit the road,
Oh,
Jack.
okay. So I'm wondering how old this person is. I don't want to assume because could be young lady, could be a young man. Don't know. I don't want to assume. Oh snap! Popping guest. Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey y'all.
Well, hello there, Dasa. You wanna
Yeah.
introduce your homie?
Let me introduce our fellow guests, one bulldog to another. We have the one and only Amaya. And Amaya, if you could briefly just give us your introduction.
Yes, so I am Amaya Smith, hailing from the greater city of Dayton, Ohio, and currently an alum from the illustrious Agricultural and Mechanical University, Alabama A&M. Go Bulldogs.
Well, thank you for being here tonight with us. And we're gonna resume with our HBCU confessionals.
Amaya, I'm gonna ask you, right? Did you hear? Did you hear the confession? Did you see the confession?
I did see the confession.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are, let's just say this is a young lady, right? If you are this young lady, what are you doing in this situation?
Honestly, coming from someone who did not date in college, I would honestly focus on yourself, considering we're so young, because we don't even know the age of the young lady. So considering we're
Right.
young, I would honestly focus on myself and just focus on what my main goal is before I even settle down with somebody.
And I know sometimes you may run into someone who is a good thing. Like on paper, they're great. They're smart. They might have a good job. But regardless of that, if you don't click with there's not that click there that makes you want to stay, that makes you want to be there. Because a person may not necessarily check off all of the boxes, right? But the ones that they do check off, relationships are compromised. So you're willing to, okay, you may not be over 6 feet. You know what I mean? But because I like you, there's certain things you're willing to alleviate. But you should never be willing to alleviate actually liking the person. Like wanting to be there and seeing yourself grow with the person. So you're in college, bro. It's a lot of fish in the sea. Go get your hook and bait and go fishing. Go fishing somewhere.
That's real spill. Like, don't wait around. There's always gonna be plenty of fish in the sea, like MC said. Like, just it's not worth it, honestly. And that's something that's gonna be eaten in the back of your brain, like knowing that this is not gonna work, and eventually he's gonna realize that as well. So just spare y'all the heartache and all of that, and just
Yeah. I know we got another confession. Let's pull that one up before we get to what we're here to talk about tonight. All right. And this person is from Howard. I hate seeing kids from my Jack and Jill chapter come to HBCUs and pretend to be hood. Why would you lower yourself to pretend to be like that? Why would you act like Tariq from Power? You're not like them and you should not be proud of that. But I'm wrong for being too bougie. Howard. All right. I want to focus on,
Tariq from Power is crazy. Go ahead.
That was definitely Tariq, bro. You didn't really come from that, but hey. I don't really want to focus on the Jack and Jill part. Jack and Jill went up a hill, cool, all that. But I want to ask y'all, have you ever seen where it's like you know a person is not really built like that. Like you come from silver spoon or whatever the case may be, when they try to act like, you know, out the trenches. Like, bro, you live in a mansion with both your parents who make both over 300K. No, you don't.
Sure.
You see them, what do you say? Like, have you ever like had actual interaction with them?
It's nothing to say. It's just a head shake.
It's nothing. I wouldn't want to associate myself with somebody like that. Like you're putting on a facade and trying to be somebody that you're not. Like just be yourself. And if you try being yourself for a change, folks would probably want to cling more than stop trying to be a Hannah Montana.
You got the best of both worlds.
Basically.
I don't know the words after that part. I just think about it. But hey.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we glorify like trenches, getting out the mud. And I think sometimes you might hear that in our music, and we try to like prescribe to that within real life. But it's like you'll oftentimes you look like rappers interviews, stuff like that. They'll say like, I'm lying in my music. Like I want you to know that up front. So I just think it comes from trying to be something that you're not and put on this impression, whether you feel like it makes you look or feel tougher to get women or whatever the case may be. But it's like, bro, if me and you went to the same high school, I've been to your crib, I know your parents, your mother and father are engineers and doctors. like fam, what don't know? I don't know. I just think it's weird. It's clout like behavior, trying to put on this facade for everyone. And then we on college, bro. Don't nobody care about that. I don't. I'm trying to focus on passing this next class. I don't care that you saying you got 2 choppers on you, and bro, I don't care. They water guns. I don't.
Yeah. I don't not water guns. They do not be water guns.
But bro, I don't, bro. It's bigger things to do with. I don't care.
Amaya, what's your opinion on this? Like, what's your spill?
Personally, I feel like being Black is already enough. Personally, so it's like,
yeah,
we already got an obstacle ourselves being Black because we don't get every opportunity everybody else gets. So it's just like, why create more obstacles for yourself? You know what I mean? Like, why create that persona for yourself? That's just how I feel.
Fuck it, that's real. I agree with everything MC and Amaya said. Like, just I'm not worried about that, but it kind of does rub me the wrong way. Thankfully, I haven't had to try to check anybody and tell them like, yo, like, chill out. So,
yo, chill out, chill out. Be yourself.
No, I don't know. I think for me, like where I went to school at, like I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The high school I went to, it was a little. It was like a mini HBCU, but with all the baby kids. The easiest way I can say it, but I don't know. I think we just had like a mix of like everybody at my school, but like. And a lot of people would try to like follow behind, like, okay, you see him over here. Oh, he's talking about he got this on him, he got that on them, acting all crazy, like skipping school and doing crazy stuff, not skipping school and doing regular stuff. They're actually skipping out, doing school and doing all this crazy stuff, being on Shell Road. I don't know if y'all know about Shell Road, but I'm from 75. Shell Road, not a place where you want to be. They all over there just doing all that mess. But like, you live in Michael's Woods, you live in Glenshire Him, like. It's not adding up. I just don't like it. And it's just like, be yourself. Like, I've seen too many people fall victim to that. Like, you just get in the wrong crowd and you feel like, oh, since they so trench, I know I got to be trench baby too. You don't got to be trench baby. I'm not a fan. And then also, like, speaking like, if I'm like somebody I'm talking to, they're old, like, I came from the trench, I do this, and I got people, like, all that. Because now I don't need to be turning over my shoulder, watching my back every time I'm with you because you so hood, you so baby, if it's real or fake or not. I don't care. I don't play like that. That personally.
Be who you are.
Be
for
yourself.
your pride.
Be yourself. It's okay. Bring yourself, you know, it's cool. Let's bring it back in style. It's cool to be yourself, you know? Nothing wrong with it at all. All right. So I know we're here to talk about being a first generation college student, dealing with homesickness. Is anyone here not a first generation college student? Is everyone here? You're not a first generation college student.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not, Dasa, you're not either?
I really don't know, but I feel like
technically on one side, one is on my dad's side, yes, but on my mom's side, no.
I consider first generation as your parents. Did your parents go? I don't really be counting grandparents or like cousins, aunties, uncles. So about
What if
just in your
one and the
household.
other didn't?
You said what?
What if one did and one didn't? Half?
So
Am I half first?
I feel like I'm half.
if Johnny
I
has
think
four
I'm half
apples,
first.
Johnny has Johnny got 4 apples. So you're not a first generation. Well, yeah, you're not a first generation because
I said that. Maybe just half though, like a little bit.
no, it's not. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So Amaya, you are a first generation college student, correct?
I am a first gen for my entire family.
So how is that in terms of navigating that pressure? Because of course, again, congratulations that you graduated, that
And
you got the degree, but how was that process in terms of you being the first to do something like this?
I'm gonna be honest, I honestly didn't even know how important it was. Like being like totally transparent, I didn't know how important it was because like I didn't realize how big of an impact I would have made like upon my family just being that first one to actually do what I could do. Cause it's just like my parents always manifested like, yeah, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna go to school, and I didn't even realize because neither one of my parents even graduated from high school. So it's like I'm the first for that, first for college, first to even go back to get my master's. Like I'm a first for everything. So it was just like I feel like it was beautiful considering my family were so excited to see that and just set the path for everybody else in the rest of my family or my next generation of kids when I have some near future. But that's just honestly how I can put it.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Look,
Like a round of applause for that. First
Man.
everything. Go ahead. Like
it ain't easy being the first to set that example for not only possibly kids when you get them, but your family, maybe friends who might. So, Dasa, Rook, with y'all not necessarily being first generation college students, did y'all have a lot of help when it came to getting ready to go to college, transition into college, stuff like that?
I did for sure. I have an older sister who is the first to go to an HBCU. She went to Howard. I'm repping her school today. I don't know why, but she gave me a lot of assistance more than my parents did. And my parents, they went to school, but I grew up in a Caribbean background, so I didn't really get that help in terms of being prepared for school, like financial aid, scholarships, getting sent away. So yeah, I got help.
I would say I definitely got help too. I know like when it came to like my mom helping me, it was like put your application in, and we both trying to figure out the FAFSA, but it's kind of like compared to how when she was applying for schools how many ever years ago compared to now, it's just like she was helping me as much as she could, but she definitely like pushed me to get to where I want to be, like get to those scholarships, get to the money so that I won't have to worry about paying for school and all of that. So I definitely have had help.
Right. What about you, MC? Like, what are some of your struggles or obstacles if you are first generation? Like, how does that feel?
So yeah, I'm first gen. I think for me, sometimes it's a matter of my folks not necessarily getting like exactly what it means to have to deal with the stresses of college. Like it's not necessarily just go to class, do your work, or no, it's other things. And I seen this somewhere where somebody was talking about, it probably makes more sense to like if everyone started college when they're like after 21, like 21 and up, because that transition, especially if you're going from high school to straight into college, you really kind of get a wake up call. Like you see then that it's no more 8 a.m. in high school ain't the same as your 8 a.m. in college.
At all.
Having that kind of freedom to where no one necessarily is on your back. Like, yeah, you have to go to class. Like, yeah, you paid your money, but when you're in high school, you legally have to go. Like, you legally can't miss more than a certain amount of days. When you're in college, it's no legal really anything in terms of having to go. So just navigating the certain freedoms that now come with it, finding yourself as an adult during this space, and now you have that mixed with some who have no idea, some who kind of have an idea because they're like in their 20s and stuff. So I think with me, I definitely know I could ask like my folks for help with what they can, but I know a lot of things I found myself I just don't like asking for help. That's something that I've had to deal with in college as well, but I like asking for help. So it's just a lot of things I found myself just dealing with on my own Or just asking like a mentor or somebody else who I know may have graduated from Bowie or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But just a lot of just doing that for real.
I feel you. Do you and Amaya, you can answer this as well, but do y'all ever like wish that you had somebody in your life, in your family, well, not even in your life, but somebody in your family that have went to college or at least had some type of experience so that you can kind of lean back on and they can give you that guidance? Because some people, believe it or not, don't have it, and I'm grateful to have had it and have it now.
Um, it would have been nice. I think everything happens for a reason, so I don't necessarily embark too much on it. If was a fifth, we've all be drunk. Like if I had this person, if I didn't, so it's cool for real. I just usually try to make the most out of what I get, but I have thought about it, especially like early on. Like, dang, it'd be nice if I had aunt or uncle, or rather than that, my mother or father who understood. Like they, especially going to HBCU, like they knew what it was like when they went. But I just look at it as everything has to start somewhere. So if my folks didn't have that, I'm blessed to be able to be the person so that when I graduate and I have my kids and I can tell them, well, hey, you want to go to HBCU, you want to go to college, these are some of the things to look out for, to be mindful of. So everything starts from somewhere, and I don't mind being the person to start that for my family.
Real.
Alright, how about you?
Personally, I feel like I wish I would have had somebody too, because so it's only my mom. My mom is a single parent. So my mom literally helped me my whole 4 years of college. So it would have been nice because some stuff my mom didn't really understand. Of course, I'm not going to understand because, I mean, this was a first experience for us both. Like applying for college, applying for fast food, like everything was a first for us. Like the whole HBCU experience was a first. Everything was a first. So I feel it would have been very, very much helpful considering most people had that like that experience of getting someone who did already apply for college or already had that experience under their belt. But like he said, it has to start somewhere. So I'm just thankful, like now that we both have that knowledge, I can guide my little brother to what he needs to do or what he needs help with in the future.
Right.
I want to ask y'all, how do you all feel that, in what ways, let me ask, especially to you, Amaya, being your first gen, but really for all of y'all, in what ways do you feel like your HBCU experience has been special? How has it been unique for you?
That's a deep question.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Deep.
yeah. I mean, we all go through, even though there are a lot of commonalities and similarities when it comes to going to HBCU, Fried Chicken Friday or Wednesday or professional, whatever the case may be, right? The homecoming, the experience, cool. But I know, especially like say being siblings, you can be in the same household and have two different experiences within that household.
Right.
So just being under the umbrella of HBCU, how has y'all's experience been unique and special, you would say, to you?
I think for me, it's more so of like just finding my people, finding my circle. Once I found my mentor sometime in my sophomore year, and I actually built a relationship with her. Shout out to Dr. Blake. I just knew like me being here at A&M was for me. This is supposed to be my HBCU. This is supposed to be my collegiate journey, my experience. And my top school was Howard and MCAT and Southern, but I'm placed here on the hill for a reason. And shout out to Fried Chicken Tuesdays and Fried Fish Fridays and every Sunny Wednesdays. But me meeting my people and having them placed within my collegiate journey, like that was my realization, probably towards the beginning of my junior year.
I think for me, like something that was like unique and like special was definitely being able to play college sports. Like it's something that I never thought I'd be able to ever experience, and then being able to play college sports and still go to school for free, like it's a dream. Like even today in my junior year, I'm like, dang, I did all that. Like I really made it all the way here. So I don't know, I'm extremely grateful for that experience. I actually like really am extremely grateful for Bowie because it's brought me so many connections and so many people to my life that I would have never thought meant. Like Dasa was saying, like definitely the village that I've gained being here, like that's my top number one, like most unique, memorable experience. Because I met so many people that I like never picture myself like being able to meet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you?
I would have to say what was unique for me was my mom being able to live through me. Like, since she didn't get that experience, like I'm calling her, Mom, look, I'm at a party, but also I finished my paper, like everybody know the real deal about being at an HBCU and finishing your paper before that deadline and partying. So I feel like, yeah, that was the most unique part to me. And then honestly, just like Hadassah said, finding my people, because like, you have so many opportunities to join Greek organizations, community service organizations. And personally, I was a part of 5 different organizations. So I was literally like to the back, experiencing everything, finding different people, networking with different people to see like which family I wanted to belong to first. But then I'm like, dang, I belong to all these families, because all 5 of my organizations was like, they were a part of me. So that was the most unique thing for me, was just getting to live that, honestly.
That's so real, like being able to like live through your mom, because my mom be like, everything you've done, like it's so cool to see. Because like I know my mom didn't go to a HBCU, and then halfway through like her college journey, that's when she had me, so she finished online. So definitely with the calls calling, look mom, look at this party, or look what I'm doing, look but definitely.
MC.
I was gonna say, one, there is nothing makes a college student lock in more than when it's 11:40 and you got a paper due at 11:59. It don't matter where you are, a meeting, party,
Anywhere.
no matter.
The car, the club,
that laptop is with you, or that iPad, and you,
or that phone,
or the phone.
I mean,
the Blackboard is up here.
This is very off topic, but I want to ask, because I just want to know: has anyone ever, like, you got something to do at 11:59, but you're not gonna be able to finish it, so you send like a blank document to your professor, like, "Yo, my bad, I sent the wrong version. Yo, let me."
Yeah, I already have my email.
But I've heard of it though, and I'm willing to try, but I'm not willing to take that risk. I don't know.
I've never tried it.
You don't do it just to do it. You gotta do it when you really, it's like,
need it.
You're not finished. Yeah. That's not a trick that you just, because you'll mess around trying that, and then there'll be one professor that's like, "Oh, read next time." Oh.
Yeah. After you get that first well, then I'll never do it again. But thankfully, I haven't got it yet. But
I mean, gotta knock on that one. What would you all say? I especially want to say to you, Amaya, what's something that, well, actually, no, to all of you all, what's something that before going into college you had no idea about, like a certain aspect of it, and then now being in it, or now having graduated from it, you're like, never would have guessed, or my thought has completely changed when it comes to that?
That's a good question. I personally would have to say, honestly, deciding what you want to do with your career as an undergrad and deciding on your major. Because personally, I switched majors twice and took a year off. So I used to think like, I'm going to finish college in 4 years. Heavens no. There is no time frame when you finish college. Like, it's whenever you finish, and honestly, whenever you figure out what you want to do with yourself. Because last thing you want to do, spend all this money or even waste your scholarship on getting a degree in something you do not want to do for the rest of your life. That's the main thing I didn't realize until I'm like, okay, yeah, I now.
One thing for me was like, everybody's connected. Like, I did, like, people tell you like, oh, everybody know everything at your school, like everybody tell everybody, but I did not realize like how real that was until I got here. I was like, ooh,
Bowie small too.
And Bowie small. Everybody's too connected. Like,
Basically, the same thing B. Rook said was literally what I was gonna say. Like, I did not know everybody knew everybody. Like, yeah.
Are we all everyone's out of state, basically, pretty much, right? Everyone's out of state. So how have you all dealt with, if you ever felt at any point, that homesickness? I'm assuming at some point it might have hit, right? You missing being home or just missing your hometown. How do y'all deal with that?
I'm gonna get in that car and take a drive.
Man.
Or call my mama.
The first thing that I started doing, because I got this Alexa, and I just tell her to play like the radio station back in Miami, which is 99 Jams, and that makes me feel like I'm on a highway with the radio on, just Yeah.
That's nice. I never thought to do that. Like, that's really smart.
She can play the radio station for you.
Personally, my family would come on holidays. Like on times I could not come home because I live low key. Like 6 hours is not just like a drive in a park. So my parents would literally come, and my little brother, they would come visit me on my HBCU campus. Like my little brother is one of those kids. Like, yeah, I was on campus with my sister. Yeah. So they would come drive 6 hours back home, or I would drive 6 hours back home.
That's real. MC. Well, you're not.
MC right up the street.
Yeah. Now I will say that, like, I've never lived on campus. I've always been coming straight from the crib. I'm literally 10 to 12 minutes away from the university. I think at some points it would have been nice to live on campus, just because I never necessarily. Well, I guess it's not true. I've experienced, in a sense, being involved but not feeling connected to my campus, in a sense. Like, I was in a stage of still trying out like organizations and just still getting the feel from campus. It really wasn't until I crossed. Crossing just adds a whole different breed of madness to the college experience, and I think that's when I more so got into it for real. But yeah, it's come in terms of like homesickness. Yeah, I couldn't. I was always coming straight from home for real. So yeah.
I do got a question now. When it comes to, and Amaya can probably attest to this, but how do you guys as like campus, and also because B Rook and MC, you guys go to the same university, how does your university help with like you dealing with homesickness? Is there any clubs for specific students that may be from like Atlanta or the West Coast or something, or like, like how we are schools? And Amaya, I want to hear your experience from Alabama A&M.
I would have to say the groups I surrounded myself with. Like, that's why I said being a part of different organizations, that honestly helps too, because you're meeting so many different people that could relate so much to you in terms of that. Like, especially from Alabama Agricultural Mechanical University, when I tell you it's so diverse, it's more diverse than I thought like it would be, even though considering it's a HBCU. Like, different organizations have different things for you to relate to for a reason. So it's like, when I first joined, like Hadassah, we know Hadassah is my Neo. So it's like when I had joined PBL, which is Phi Beta Lambda Business Fraternity Incorporated, Zai chapter, I honestly love that group of people because I felt like, okay, this is a family. This is similar. Like, I can relate so much. And you never thought some people be from the same area you are. So that's one thing I can say.
That's real.
I know at Bowie they do have like a commuters org or club or something like that, but I'm not a part of that. But then, like Amaya said, like it's the people that I surrounded myself with, my groups that like kind of help with the homesickness.
I know I'm not Caribbean, but I know they got like the Caribbean Club. And I think also with Bowie, you can pretty much find someone from like where you're from, like, or that can relate. Like, you know her, Nyana, right? Nyana reps Connecticut.
My sister.
All day, every day, right? And though it may not necessarily be a bunch of other folks from Connecticut, there's a lot of other out-of-state folks that don't have like a lot of out-of-state presence. Like, of course, it's always going to be your Philly there, your New York, your Virginia. But especially for those out-of-state students who don't necessarily have as many there, they are able to connect, just being that they don't have anyone else there. So I think especially at Bowie, again, it's a small community, but we're very big on small community, big family. So that no matter where you go, there's always a place to feel like you're welcome, you're accepted, you have some kind of familiarity amongst the campus, for real.
Yeah, that's real.
Amaya, I want to ask you, if you had to give your younger self, let's start with your younger self, right? Just started college and you are just a novice in it. What's something that you would have told yourself back then that you wish, you could have gave yourself?
Give myself some grace. Like, I was so tough on myself. as a freshman, but then again, I wasn't as bad. Like compared to senior year, I was real tough on myself senior year, but I would just tell myself, like, before I get to where I was now, that you'll be fine, because when you first starting, you really don't know what to expect as a freshman, like at all, because that's when you're first figuring out who you're gonna be, what you're gonna be, who you are, just finding your inner self. So I feel like honestly, I would just tell myself you're gonna be fine, because Lord knows everybody be hard on themselves or be feeling like you're not doing enough and you're doing just enough, especially when you're following the path you need to follow.
Yeah. But Amaya, do you ever like regret being tough on yourself? Like, does that make sense? Like,
I wouldn't say I regret being tough on myself. I regret stressing about things that's out of my control. That's what I would say, because I am very tough on myself when it comes to stressing about stuff that is not in my control, y'all. Like, everybody will tell you, yeah, Maya, she gonna be stressed out, but she gonna figure it out. Like, but that would be the main thing, is just that, honestly.
Was that something that you kind of grew up with, like just being tough on yourself? Was it enforced, whether from school or at home or any point? You kind of just carried that on, or has it always, that was just like something once you got to college, it kind of just happened in a sense?
I think that's something that's always been embedded in me as a kid, because not trying to get off topic, but when my dad passed away when I was younger, I felt like I had a push and a reason to do it for my mom and dad, because they expect so much out of me, because they made so many sacrifices for me to make the decisions I want to make, be able to do whatever I want to do, not being a statistic, because I was born a statistic. My parents had me as teenagers, like, I was the first to go to school, so it's just like that was the pressure, the not being statistic, like making sure I fulfill what my parents always wanted me to do, even though it was my dream as well. It was more so I have that pressure behind me, so I have to make sure I succeed for this. So that's why I've always been hard on myself, because I feel like honestly, there's nothing in this world that nobody can't do. You can do it for real.
okay. Now, for you want to go ahead, MCO?
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now for my ladies, since the three of us were all out of state and of course we're away from home, but has there ever been like a rough patch where you've maybe had a bad semester or you weren't feeling it and you kind of felt like it has messed with your academics or like your overall experience while you've been away at college? Because I know for me at one point, during my sophomore year, like I really wanted to go home and nobody even knew, but I didn't let it affect me academically, but I knew like me feeling this way would change my like college experience forever. And I made the most of it. I tried not to feel as bit of a homesick wreck as I was. And I just focused on my end goal, which was graduating. But have y'all ever felt like that or like had that period during our collegiate experience?
I've definitely had one of those like down seasons, and it was during my sophomore year too. It was just a lot going on. I think like with the homesickness part, it was like, oh my goodness, like it was just the fact that I was like, I don't have like no family out here. It's like the 4-hour drive is not something you could just take just on a random Tuesday. So it's like, I don't know. I think even though like I had my friends around me, it just kind of felt like, it's no feeling like home and like family. So I definitely had one of those moments. And like you said, like I wanted to go home. Like I wanted to come home and I did not want to come back to Bowie. But I stuck it out, thankfully. And, things are better now. But it definitely was a rough little patch where you had to work through. But honestly, I'm thankful for it because, it's made me stronger and it's taught me some things about myself and others that is going to prepare me for something in the future now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about our sophomore year, but it seems like sophomore years be rough. Yeah, why was it my sophomore year too? Like my sophomore year, you know how you start off at school, you find your little group of friends that you really cool with when you first start, or your solidified group. I literally fell out with my whole solidified group, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, because it was rough, because I was emotional. Like I've always been emotional, but I feel like it was just deeper with me being lost low key, because I was still trying to figure out who I was as a sophomore. So I would have to say that would be that year, and it was COVID year. I was literally the first class to experience like that COVID where they sent us home, and I didn't know what to do, y'all. Like the whole transition from online classes versus in person, And the HBCU experience had changed all of that. Like it low key changed because it's not you to think we're quarantining. We can't do everything, we can't be close. We have to be 6 feet from each other. Like that was when I had a rough year. Like I took a whole year off, not a semester, a whole year. And I'm kind of thankful for that because I actually realized I didn't even want to be a veterinarian no more. That's when I even changed my major. So yeah, my sophomore year too.
Well, shout out to those who have taken a semester off, a whole school year off, and decided to come back and continue their education because that's hard. It's easy to lose sight and to lose like a steady mindset of saying, okay, like I'm going to finish what I started. So shout out to you, Amaya.
Facts. Listen, we're off topic, but when COVID hit, and it was like, yo, y'all got to go. Yeah. I remember getting that bees alert on campus. COVID hit. Everybody go. We'll figure it out later, but go.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I remember that day when they announced. Yeah, okay.
I was a junior in high school, and we were on spring break. I'm thinking I'm gonna go back to school in a couple of days. No, that was
no. I literally have a TikTok from the last day that we had right before COVID broke out and everything. I was so mad because it was like, dang, our softball season's about to start. There was like, unfortunately, all the athletic sportings will be canceled. I was like, bruh.
Wow.
COVID was not a fun time span for me.
Nobody, honestly.
It's been 4 years. I honestly am, I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm honestly am in some ways grateful for COVID, only because it has like reshaped the way we do things and it has allowed certain things to happen. Like hell, Amaya said that she switched her major. If it wasn't for COVID, she probably still would have been with her same major. So there's that.
Yeah. Getting a degree I don't want.
Right.
Also appreciate, which is a wild sentence, appreciating COVID, but COVID did put an emphasis on content because everybody's at home, needs something to watch. So during that time, podcasting was already a thing, but doing this and other forms of just creating content and putting stuff on, I think that's part of why social media even now is even more like we are more addicted to it in a sense, or always so pressed for our phones because we're still coming off the effects of COVID in a sense. So like it definitely had its pluses and cons, but I'm definitely grateful for just the emphasis on content and just allowing us to put more into it. Because again, it was a thing, but podcasting really took off during the COVID because everybody needed something to watch for real. I want to ask y'all if there's any advice that you could give to a first generation college student, to that homesick student who can't go home right away. Like, what's something you would tell them that could be able to help them and get through those tough times?
Do things that remind you of home. Eat the foods that, your mom used to cook, and listen to the music like Dasa was saying. Just like try to, and also with your room, I don't know if this is like a universal thing, but I be going to people's rooms and it just be plain and empty. Make it look like your room at home. So it's like, this is your home. This is your room. So I would do that, like, personally. The food, the music, and make your space comfortable so it's like you're home away from home.
Yes, try to go ahead and even if you're, like, let's say you're a high school student and you want to go to college for the next upcoming year, or even any type of returning student, if you have anything back home that you would like to bring that's going to remind you of home, bring that so that way you can have like a piece of your hometown, your home with you. What's the word that I'm looking for? Surround yourself maybe around those individuals who maybe are from your hometown or are from the same state as you, because you guys have a lot in common and that might help a little bit. And if you can, it's probably not the easiest, but try to find time before the semester starts to make arrangements to go back home, because you never know how things can get.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to agree with Dasa. I agree with both of you guys, so Dasa and Brooke, because like, I know I always decorate in my room and it reminded me of home, especially like depending on like what's your favorite place to go to. Like I would kind of make it that theme of my room, or I would just make it a theme of like my loved one in their background. So it's just like my grandma, she's Korean. So like my whole room used to be always like colorful and Korean type based theme. Like, so That's what I would do. I always would do that. So I agree with Brooke too on her advice. But personally, I would just say doing that same thing, and honestly making that arrangement like Hadassah said, and seeing if you can go home like around that time and just plan it ahead of time. Like always plan it ahead of time. Don't never wait so long or so far back where you can't honestly go home. So
Right.
I'll say to first generation college students, I kind of want to double down on what Amaya said earlier in terms of giving yourself grace, right? And not even just really just for first generation. This is for any college student, right? Giving yourself grace because this is, like I said, that point in time where you just finished being a teenager in high school. This is especially for those who are going straight from high school to college. You just finished being a teenager, and now you are in a process of becoming a young adult. Adulting is hard. It's very ghetto. It's not the funnest thing in the world sometimes. So there are going to be those moments where you make mistakes, you fall short, but that's life. And I know, especially sometimes as teens, as young adults, we think that everything has to be now, right? So, I have to have the job now. I have to have everything figured out now. I have to have the girlfriend or boyfriend now. I have to have everything now. And you don't allow yourself this space to grow. You don't allow yourself this space to get better. Like, I know for me, there were some things that I was always naturally good at when I was young. So when I get to college and I'm learning new things, and I'm figuring out that there are some things I'm not as good at already, it's frustrating for me because I've always been so good at doing these other things off rip, came natural. But that's the part of growth, and you can't grow if you're comfortable the whole time, right? Part of growth is being uncomfortable and then eventually becoming comfortable in the uncomfortable so you can move to what's next. So when you find yourself in that space, you feel like the whole world's just crashing down, everything has to be here now. It's like you're a big dog. You 19, you 20, 21, 22. You got all this life ahead of you. Everything just doesn't have to be now. So like Amaya said, just give yourself some grace. Just give yourself some grace for real.
Definitely. I have one little piece of advice for
Go ahead.
freshmen coming in, people who are homesick. Just overall advice. When a situation happens or you feel like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, think about it or go into it with the mindset of this happened for me instead of like, why is this happening to me? Like, even with all bad experience, like try to see the light. Like that has been like my saving grace for getting through college so far. Like it may be so bad, everything may be on fire, everything, but see that little pot of water and see like the good part in all of it and see why it's like how it can benefit you. Get the lesson out of it.
Why is this happening for me?
It's not happening to you, but why is it happening for you?
Great. It's like I was watching Zion Church this past Sunday, and just in terms of, because we know being a college student, you're often broke. Sometimes you don't have money. You eating ramen noodles 6-7 times a week. It'd be like that. But it's like he was saying, focus on the supplier and not the need. Right? I don't know what everyone's faith is, but if you believe in a higher power, regardless of who it is, focus on the supplier and not the need. Because if you focus on the need the whole time, you're going by, again, sight, not faith at that point. So what you see in front of you, you feel like that's all, and you're relying on your own extent. And you can't do everything. That's why it's important to focus on the supplier. So you saying that just made me think, focus on the supplier and not the need, for real.
Yeah, that's real.
Hadassah, you want to take it away to our A word of the day?
Yes, let's go ahead. So if you guys don't know, our A word here on the campus rundown is our accountability check. And as college students, we try to do this just to ensure that we're keeping up with ourselves, we're holding ourselves accountable, and making time for the things that we need to prioritize. I'll go first. I know that one of my accountability checks from last week was to study for a test and a quiz I had coming up, I believe. And I did, and I passed both of them. Thank God.
Nice.
But my accountability check for this week is to make time to study for another quiz and test, to do some laundry, and to start getting started on my content so I can upload it to my YouTube channel. So yeah. Amaya, what's your accountability check?
Honestly, my accountability check is to honestly live. I know that sounds crazy, but like post grad is very hard, y'all. Like it's low key depressing. Like, and I'm not the only one who's kind of experiencing that. And it's just like I have to realize, girl, you just graduated 4 months ago. Take a break. Like
Yeah.
enjoy your life. So that's really what I'm doing. I just really want to enjoy my life so far until I start my master's degree and honestly get into my hot girl era where I'm in my bad boy career.
That's so real. That's real. We Rook.
I don't remember my last one as always, but for this week, I definitely have a handful of flyers and graphics that I need to make, so I kind of want to bust those all out tonight. I'm kind of shooting high right now, but I think once I drink this Celsius, I'll be cool and I'll bust them all out. I think I might have 1 or 2 assignments, so that's definitely on my accountability check to get that done. And I think the last thing, by the end of the weekend, I just need to do like a self-care day, just relax all day, and yeah.
Okay, shout out to Justice MC.
I remember last week's this time. My
Okay.
I think mine was just to not put too much more than I can handle on my plate. You know, being okay with saying no. I did that. I was able to navigate having a controlled plate. I think for this week, I've been asked a few times lately, where's your card? And I realized I'm not gonna make a card. No. But what I'm gonna do is I would create my link tree and my QR code for it. Because I've seen that a lot where folks will be able to, you have a card? No, but scan this, they scan it, got my info, cool. Instagram, website, all that case may be. So yeah, it's to double down and finally create my link tree and my QR code for it. So that's
They
what
got
I'm
an app for that.
I know,
Like,
yeah. They got it after that. I just again it happens. I always lie and be like, oh no, I just came from an event. Yeah, I just ran all out, but just take this. No, I did not come from an event. But yeah, I'm going to actively make the link tree and the QR code. So my next Tuesday, next call, should have it done.
Get on it, man. Get on it.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Everyone, this has been a very dope episode. Shout out to our amazing guest Amaya for coming on today. Shout out Dasa, shout out B Rook, shout out our whole HBCU news segment to Destin, Kay, Jonathan, Next Gen. Shout out everyone, you, the audience, for coming to, hanging with us for the last hour. It's been real. Another edition of the Campus Rundown Show right here on Historically Black Sense. See y'all next Tuesday, man.
Bye, y'all.